Hey everybody, this is Nikki Burnett, Taste Life Nutrition. I'm a functional nutritionist, and yes, I'm in my car. This is dedication to our furry family members. Is I want to do real raw health no matter what. Unfortunately, Matt with Parsley Pets was unable to join us today. He had something else that he needed to do, so I'm here by myself, and I had meetings today. So we're doing it from my car. So this will be short and sweet, but it's easy to talk about treats. And treats are important. We all want to give treats to our pets. They need treats, whether it's for reinforcement, when we're training, for, just because they're good. I mean, that's what we want to do, is we want to give them treats when they're good. So, but what we want to do is make sure that we're giving the right treats and make sure that they're the treats that are actually going to feed them. Just like with us, we want treats that are going to feed us. We like good treats. Sometimes they don't always, but anyway, the point is we want to have treats that are going to take care of them, keep them around as long as we can, just like their food. So we want to look as much as we can for nutrient density in treats for us, as well as for our pets. So a couple of things that we want to look at. If you're buying treats from the store, there's so many treats from China, and it's really scary. Last week we were talking about, the toys and stuff that come from China and all the toxic chemicals that are put on toys. Well, the same. You can look at, if you find something, and I've done this, it makes me crazy, but I found like a beef jerky, and it's just all meat. But you look at it and the meat has been irradiated. Not a good thing. My understanding with irradiation is it takes all of the molecules and the particles and it throws them all out really like crazy, and then they come back together in all of these weird, funky ways where it's not food anymore. So it's not recognized, right? So the body's like, I don't know what this is, so I don't know what to do with it. So stay away from irradiated foods for you. I mean, they irradiate foods for us too. And you can look at labels. I don't remember what the label is right now, but you can look it up. But there are labels that are put on food, on vegetables, that show that they've been irradiated. Not okay. Okay, so if you are just buying, make sure that it's coming from the United States, from Canada, from Australia, or from New Zealand. Those are the safest places to get treats, especially if it's meat. But those are going to be where you want to get your good treats from. Or for me, sometimes I'm busy. Maybe I'm a little bit lazy. There are easy things that you can make that are treats that you have at your house. Think about blueberries. Think about raspberries. Some people will say, sorry, I don't have the phone on the little stand, so it's a little wobbly. So it's the way it goes today. But some will say that there are dogs that have sensitivities or allergies to strawberries. I've never seen that personally, but it doesn't mean that that's not the case. My dogs, I grow strawberries and I never get any because the dogs eat the strawberries. So, you do that at your own risk. Think about it. If it's a problem, don't do it. If it's not a problem, then I think it's fine. Just be aware. I'm not sure what it is, but I wanted to throw that out there. Blackberries, I give my dogs berries pretty frequently. I'll tell you what I do most frequently though, because it's really convenient, is I go to Natural Grocers, or you can do Whole Foods, and I get banana chips. They're dried banana chips without sugar or any kind of anything. They're just dried banana chips. And actually, if I eat them, they have almost no flavor to them, but the dogs love them. So I can keep them in a container, a little glass container by the back door where the dogs go in and out. And hey, Eddie. And so they can go in and out. And if I need them to come in, if I need to call them, I've gotten them trained to where if I knock on the window, like they're barking too much, I'll knock on the window and they'll come running in. And I want to treat them for that. I want them to come when I call them. And so it's really cool. It was kind of an accidental thing, but that's a great thing. So I want them to come. So I always have those banana chips or coconut chips, dried coconut chips, no sugar, remember. I'll keep those there. So there are things like that are just super easy, that the dogs will love, and it is so inexpensive, and it actually will feed your dog, and it's not, treats full of a bunch of junk. So other things that you can think about, if you go to the store, you can buy like freeze-dried liver. That's a great treat. Again, make sure it's not irradiated. Make sure that it's, got, that's all that it is just freeze-dried liver. And I think that that's good. You can do, even there's freeze-dried meat and things like that you can do as well. And they're just the little chunks. And so those are great treats. What else? Almonds, cashews, and Brazil nuts. And I don't feed my dogs a lot of nuts, honestly. But when I was looking at other options for treats, that was one of the things that came up. And then another thing that came up was frozen peas. Interesting, but okay. We've talked about this, that dogs need to have vegetables chopped up, like really small, like in a food processor, tiny little chopped up vegetables. And even some people like Matt, believes, and he's got a lot more education on this stuff than I do, that it should even be cooked a little bit to help with the breakdown so the dogs can utilize it. Because my dogs love vegetables. I think they just like stuff to chew on. They just like to eat. They're just dogs, right? But I'll give them, if I have carrots, I'll give them a carrot, or I'll give them a piece of broccoli, or a piece of cauliflower, or a Brussels sprout, and they'll take them and they'll chew on them and chomp on them, and they may or may not digest them well, but it'll, if they don't, it's just going to go through. But they like that stuff. So those are good things that you can give too. There are people who, there's the, I don't give my dog people food thing. And I hate the term people food. I think food is food, and it just makes me crazy when we talk about people food. But I think some people may just mean that they don't feed from the table. Of course, that makes perfect sense. You don't want your dog begging. I'll tell my dogs, go, no begging, and they will, because they're crazy eaters, I'm going to tell you. But food is food no matter what, and just don't feed them from the table, and then they don't know the difference. What they will know is where their food comes from, which is the kitchen. So I have to keep my dogs out of the kitchen, which is a chore in and of itself, but it's okay. I'd rather give them food from my kitchen and out of the refrigerator than out of a bag. Things to look for. And I think this is kind of a given, but I think it's important to put out there, there are treats that are full of grains and corn and, just like the trash that's put in kibble. You want to stay away from that stuff. They add sugar, they add colorings, they add natural flavors, which is a bunch of, nasty ingredients. All of those things you want to stay away from. Again, we're going back to just real food. Dogs just need real food. They need food that's different than us, because they need a lot of meat. We don't need a lot of meat. We need meat. We don't need a lot of meat. But, if you're making yourself a steak, right, and you want to give your dog a treat, cut a little bit off and take it away from the kitchen or away from the and this is raw, take it away and, go give him a treat. Those are great treats. Little pieces of chicken, things like that. So it doesn't have to be difficult. It certainly doesn't have to be expensive to give your dogs real, good, healthy treats that it's already in your refrigerator, because it's stuff that I'm hoping that you're going to feed yourself anyway. Okay, so I think that's it. Next week, we're going to do this again. I know it was short and sweet. Matt and I tend to talk a lot more. We can, feed off each other a little bit, but I think it's important to understand they're just a lot. I had some, I was going to sign off, but I had a friend of mine come to me the other day. She was like, my dog's used to getting treats. This dog was really, really sick, and we've gotten him to a place where he's doing really well now. So it's so much fun to watch a dog being fed good, real food change into a thriving animal. It's awesome. But she wasn't able to give him treats anymore. And so this is exactly what we talked about, is what to give him for treats now. So it's kind of why I thought about it. Treats are easy. They're fun. Dogs love it. We love it. If you have questions, of course you can post down below here. You can go to my website, tastelifenutrition.com. You can go to my Facebook page. Be sure you go to Parsley Pets, his Facebook page, or his website. And if you don't already know Parsley Pets, I just love what they do, because they have essentially functional lab testing for dogs. So it's a hair tissue mineral analysis, and it's looking at minerals, it's looking at heavy metals and toxins. And so it helps to understand what your dog's missing as far as micronutrients are concerned, where they might be getting some heavy metals are that are making them sick, and then how to avoid those, and then how to know exactly what it is that your dog needs as far as his or her meals are concerned. So, maybe more protein, maybe more fat, maybe more liver, right? Liver, they have to have liver, and it has to be cow liver or beef liver. And I think bison would go into that as well, because that's where they get the proper copper content. But it's also where they get their vitamin A and their vitamin D. Those are fat soluble nutrients, super rich in liver. So, which is great, which is why it's great to have those as a treat. Okay. So, feel free to go and ask any questions that you like. We're going to come back on next week, 4:00 Mountain Standard Time, with Real Raw Health. You've got Parsley Pet, Matt Rowe. You've got me, Nikki Burnett, Taste Life Nutrition. And thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.